Hello, hello, everybody. How are you doing today, Rafael?
Hey Bart, how are you?
I'm very good here. Exciting moments with this uh,
Absolutely.
exciting September with
A
all
lot has
the,
happened in last 1 month, for sure.
yeah. We got all these things, we put all these things together, and now we have an interesting game in the outside.
Absolutely. And I think last 1 month has been extremely busy. And I think people must have seen us delivering a lot of stuff that we have been, you know, in a stealth mode, building silently. I think we've rolled out a lot of stuff now,
Yeah.
with
So
more to
today
come.
we are, yeah, there is more. We are going to talk about that today. What we are missing today is Davey. I'm gonna refrain myself about any joke. Well, we hope that he recovers really soon. We send from here wishes. Okay,
Yeah,
so
we cannot joke about that in
no,
community. Not at all.
not publicly at least. Okay, so um, we are gonna change today again a little bit the format because nothing is happening. There is nothing trending other than Z. So we are going to focus in the release of the white paper. We have a lot of questions about that. So we will touch that and a few more that we have from the community. I see it's interesting because it will help us to go deeper in the white paper and to solve a lot of questions and doubts that the community might have. Okay, so I have a list of questions here, Rafael. I'm going to start with the first one. What is a fun
Sure.
composer?
Yes, you tell us. You are the
Yeah,
composer of the fun composer. So, yeah,
yeah. Actually, I'm a fun composer, for example. Okay, I don't know about how to trade, but I can go to the marketplace and I can pick up a selection of service from the marketplace and I do my portfolio. Okay, so I have these three top service, three top services that I have in my portfolio, and then what I do is um, I'm gonna be able to share this portfolio with other people. And the way how we are gonna do this, how we are gonna benefit from this, is that I'm gonna create this version of Zignaly. Okay, it's a small white label, what we call the C prime light. Okay, and this version, there is only gonna be my three services. And I'm gonna start inviting people because I have a huge community, or I have a group of friends, or or I have some deal with some KOLs influencers, and then I'm gonna start bringing people with the to my version, to my signaling, and they are gonna go to the marketplace and they are gonna see only these three services. Okay, they are gonna invest, they are gonna allocate money, and we are gonna share the profit that this investor get. Signal is gonna, or ZIGDAO in this case, is gonna,
100 zig
yeah,
fine on
yeah,
you.
yeah.
I'm
So
writing
we
it
need to
down.
explain, yeah, we need to explain that. Fuck. So, and this is gonna give the opportunity to everybody to have their own version of Signally, okay, the interface, and invite their friends and make some profit on top of that. And it's interesting for people like myself that okay, I can create these three services, share with my friends, but also if you have a community and you want to provide some value to your community and you want to benefit from that at the same time, you can do this version of C Prime Lite, and enjoy the experience. So
So, so if we talk about fun composer, like so basically we are saying that those people in the industry, like who are potentially like the larger community leaders, who are influencers, who are maybe traders themselves, but they want to have a better mix. So we are saying that the fund composers will have an option now that they can come to us. Obviously, I mean, considering looking at their outreach and everything, we can actually create this a small product for them basically. So we are so it's not only them just coming in and having this functionality, but it's us helping them kind of productifying their own vision, right? Um, but so but if I may ask you, like from the as an influencer perspective, like how do you help me pick those three services or five services or two services or whatever? Okay, how can you help me pick those? Because given that I don't want to, I do not actively look at all the services. I do not go through them. How can you help me pick the right mix as a ZigDAO?
So it's a really good question, and this is why we are launching the C score. Okay, this is the metric that is rating the traders. Okay, even if you use the same metric that I'm using, the portfolio might be different because this metric, it doesn't have into consideration just the return. It has the consideration return, risk, asset under management, how you deal with the community. It has a lot of factors into consideration, and then there are different levels in each one of them. So maybe your community is a community that likes more the risk, so you can go with these guys that have a higher return, but they are more riskier. Or maybe you are going to this other segment of the trader that they are a super well risk controller, but still they are providing some results. Or you can make a mix. You can put 90% super risk controller, 10% crazy returns. So with this way, this metric plus the track record that we already know that this is transparent. Whatever result the trader is having, you are gonna see it in the track record of the traders. Results, increasing balance, number of investors, PNLs, since the time that they joined it, or since the time that they created the service, this information is going to be there available for you.
Hmm.
So I think with
That,
this, and on top of that, you always can go to Discord, you always can reach us out, and we are going to help you to pick up your dream team.
that is great, and I think we can also the their own service and then add some on top of it, right? So it's basically like a mix. That if I'm a good trader, two other traders, then I can create a mix and then promote it. So that's a win-win one for the users, for ZigDAO as a whole, for the composer, and for the user, for the other.
Absolutely, absolutely. Um, in this line, I'm very related. I think we almost answered a few of these concerns. Why is it C prime? Why did we launch C prime?
Yes.
You can start with this one.
Yes, since I was the one that who presented, so why Z Prime? So growth is a challenge for everyone, okay, and vision remains the same, right? So when we talk about the financial inclusion, we talk about making it easier for the people to invest and for the fund managers to monetize their skill set. I think over the years, what we have realized is that we have created a technology which has more application than us just creating one interface on top of it and trying to attract all the traders in the world and all the investors in the world, right? So it's us basically externalizing our internal efficiencies in a way that we are basically making growth engines everywhere in the world. So I think one of the partnerships that we are set to announce in the coming days, again, we cannot talk too much about it, but one of the partnerships that we are soon set to announce, it will showcase this capability from our side. That's right. A one very influential community leader from a very big community and a very amazing country coming out telling us that, okay, I have this 300,000 or 500,000 amazing investors from a particular community ready to invest in cryptos, but what they need is a technology. So instead of us reaching out to those users trying to onboard them, we are enabling these amazing community heads and these fund managers to basically use our technology and have their already existing customer base coming on to Zignaly in another way. which is more exclusive. And the loyalty is still there because it's like a co-branded version, right? It's a Z Prime Lite version, so that the community remains loyal to that fund manager or to that community leader, but the overall protocol benefits out of it. And I think that is very, very important when we also talk about the larger fund management picture, because um, we have seen over the years that the only API based solutions create a lot of lag in the market. And what we have created, the similar results for everyone, taking care of the accounting, easy deposits and withdrawal, fair outcomes for everyone, right? Either you are a $1 investment or $1 million investment. There's something which is valued extensively by the professional hedge funds as well, because see, eventually no one shies away from money, no matter how big you are. Even if you are a $200 million portfolio manager, okay, you still want more AUMs, right? So those AUMs can come in a chunky client of $1 million, or it can be 100 clients of $10,000 each, giving you $10 million. Okay, so uh, idea here is that uh, the more we allow people to build on top of us, we become more of a enabler. And I think we are kind of decentralizing our growth strategy here. And this is why I think Z Prime is very important. We are already starting to see the impact in our revenue numbers. And I think over the next couple of quarters, we will massively see, and I think people will see that in the burn mechanism as well.
Um, there is something, yeah. One of the things is that it's going to impact directly in the revenue of the protocol, ZIGDAO, but also it's very interesting because one of the handicaps that we have when attracting professional services, professional hedge funds, and saying, hey, you can have this service in Zignaly, and you can even bring your users, your current customer to Zignaly, and you can start, you can forget about accounting, you can forget about managing investment in out, you can forget about showing your a transparent front record. And they say, yeah, yeah, that's very cool, but I'm not gonna bring my customer to your marketplace and expose them to other services, right? Which make total sense. So with this solution, either the C prime Lite or the C prime full, what we can offer is an alternative. You have your interface for you. Only your customers are going to see your services, but at the same time, we can place um, your service in our marketplace. It's optional, okay? Because of what you say, you can have more AUM, you can be exposed to a bigger market, and also maybe you have different requirements, right? You, for example, one of the white label that we sold recently, they have this requirement about KYC. They already need to pass the KYC. I think at the end, everybody's gonna need to do it, but they already are anticipating this move. They ask for this module of KYC. Or maybe you want this other referral module or you want this other add-on. So this is gonna be very interesting to attract more professional fund managers to the ecosystem and be able to to put them to the disposition of everybody. So I think with Z Prime, I think it's a very smart move, and we are gonna see a jump in quality and a growth in AUM in the coming quarters.
Absolutely. I
Cool.
think I think I think that's very interesting, and I think what we are already seeing is some really solid inward leads coming in. And I think like even in the event that we did in Singapore, we have a couple of leads coming in. We have been approached by people after the announcement that they want to have something like this. We are already rolling out a few of them, right? So I think overall this is a very sound business decision, and I think even from overall um, ZigDAO perspective and from the Zigcoin perspective, I think this is one of the most powerful steps that we have taken, and eventually it comes down to the fundamental strength of the business, right? Of how much revenue are we making, how much profits are we making, and how do we translate it to the end user and the end holder of the coin. So I think this will go leaps and bounds towards achieving that goal for us.
Yeah. So now that you mentioned, we launched C Prime in Singapore. You were there with Bilal and other people from the team. So what can you tell us from the event? Yeah, I know that you came
Yes.
super happy from there.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. So we went there with very decent expectations. We basically went there because few of the friends were coming there, and we were like, "Let's go. Okay, let's see what it's about." But in my last 10 years of crypto, I have not seen a better conference. Okay, the quality of the arrangement, the quality of the side events, and I'm not talking about the side events, people going there for the booze and stuff. No, I'm talking about technically sound side events, incredible kind of audience coming in from everywhere in the world, and like most of the people in the on the Asia side, they were expecting that okay, it will be a great conference, but people coming from the West, they were shocked. Like if you go on Twitter and if you look at the comments from people like Wolf of All Streets and people who came from the US, they were shocked and they were literally posting comments like, US need to learn from this. And they think that if they ban something or if they are not into something, it's over, but it's not over. There were 13,000 people there on day one, and it was jam packed. Like we're talking about Marina Bay Sands, one of the best, place in the whole Asia. Okay, very few people in the West know about that beautiful place, and that was jam packed. 2 floors jam packed. We're talking about a really, really big place. Hundreds of projects were there, amazing quality, amazing vibe there. Second day was even better for people like us who had to literally go, like because on day one it was so hectic, you cannot go stall by stall, business by business, and try and find synergies. You can meet people, find good. The second day was amazing. That was we started 9 a.m. in the morning and we were there till like late in the evening, and we literally went, Bilal and myself, we went to every single stall. We took our notes and we were like, okay, how can we work together. And I think we have, since that we have come back, we have been trying to organize everything, and I think we have good enough BD for our next 6 months, maybe even more. The best thing that happened there, that we were able to penetrate into some really good influencer networks, into KOL networks from across the globe. And I think some of the things, I think our audience has started seeing already. Some really good people starting talking about us, and I think in coming days this will help a lot. So now what we are doing is that we are already lining up for the next 6 months, especially on the eastern side of the world, like maybe in Singapore, in Dubai, India, maybe. What great events are coming up, and we should be going there more and more often. Turkey Blockchain Week, we are going there. There's a surprise for everyone. In a Binance Blockchain Week, we will tell everyone in a few days, but there's a surprise cooking up. So we'll be there as well. But I think this Token 2049 was a great conference, and I think we should be going to the more conferences towards the eastern side in the world.
yeah. So conclusion is that crypto is dead, right?
Oh no way! Crypto, so was very interesting discussion. There was one guy, I forgot his name. He was on one of the center stages, and the first thing he said was that narrative that crypto is dead, crypto will be banned. That is thing of the past. Even the stupid people from the West don't say it anymore. Okay, it's all about regulation now and how quick you can be. So there is a sense of urgency and now in Singapore and Hong Kong, and literally regulators are trying to catch up with each other. That okay, how fast can they evolve? And initially, I used to think that Dubai is becoming the hub of crypto. I think it's Singapore. Okay, because the UAE regulator, the Middle Eastern regulators, they are very inspired by the West. So by default, they copy the West. And then
Yeah.
someone has to come in and then knock sense that, okay, guys, doesn't work like that. You have to do this. They're very good people. They always adjust. Amazing. Dubai is amazing when it comes to crypto. But Singapore, by essence, they are mixing the Asian, sense of bit more being more liberal around things, plus the requirements of crypto, coming out of the China and Hong Kong region, and they're mixing it up really well. So I think the next bull run will initiate from one of these areas. Something will trigger somewhere, and it will send shockwaves across the globe.
Nice, nice. Let's see how long it takes. So,
Yep.
what's the difference between Zignaly and ZIGDAO?
Why are
Do
you
you know that
asking
one?
me? Well, you are the CEO, you should be answering that. Why you are
Okay,
CEO?
I can
Okay,
answer
okay,
that.
sure.
So, and actually, there is now not competition, but there is something internally that if you use the name wrongly, you need to pay a fine. And once we collect 1 million Z, one of the members on the team will go on a kind of ice bath and will stay there for at least 1 minute. Okay,
Or we
so
can burn those zig as well.
yeah, I'm not sure about the member of the team wanting to do that instead of
Taking a
getting the
cold
zip.
bath. Okay.
Exactly. So ZIGDAO is the protocol, okay, and ZIGDAO is any any white level, any interface or any source of revenue is going to impact the protocol. Okay, ZIGDAO is the protocol. Zignaly is the first interface on top of the protocol. Is what the final user, what the investor is gonna interact with. Okay, right now publicly we only have Zignaly, but there is other white label that are running on top of the protocol. Okay, so this is the main difference. That Zignaly is the interface and ZIGDAO is the protocol. The idea is even more once we go decentralized is that anyone can build an interface on top of the protocol. And right now, if you want an interface, you can go to Z Prime and you can get your own interface.
That's great. That I think you explained it in a very easy manner. But I think one question that will come out from this, and I'll try to answer it myself as well. People might ask that, okay, so ZigDAO is now the father of Zignaly and may have many more kids. Is Zigcoin related to Zignaly only, or is it a ZigDAO coin? That's a very great
Okay,
question, right?
it's a really good question, and actually it's related with with the next one. How Z benefit from Z Prime? So I think no one
Right.
better than the master of coin to answer this question.
Right, right. No, so I think over the last few months, I think one thing that we have internally changed is that we have aggressively talked about Zig being part of the whole picture. We have always done that, but I think now when we are moving towards the true DAO model, it's becoming evident to us that the right um, move in Web3 and in cryptos is when your token becomes your marketing tool, basically, and we have seen it like it's nothing new. There are a lot of empirical evidence around it. We have recently seen the same thing. The day Zig started moving, everything started falling into place. The conversation started improving, partnerships starting improving. You know, so it gives us this confidence that Zig is the way to go. So Zig is the coin of the protocol. Okay. And what does it mean? This means great for the community because it means that it derives benefit out of Zignaly. It will derive benefit out of every single white label that we offer out there, whether it be a full-fledged pro version or it be a light version. Every single time we go out there and we pass on our technology to someone, there is a Zig element into it. And from multiple perspectives, right? So in some of the deals that we are doing right now, we are making it compulsion for those platforms to actually talk about Zig and promote Zig coin directly into their communities. And in some of the cases where it is not possible for them, the part of the revenue from the success fee specifically is driving into the Zig coin. So from understanding perspective, think of it like this. Initially, it was only one Zignaly, which was driving revenue into the Zig for the buyback and burn. And now there will be tens of and twenties of Zignalys out there, all of them driving revenue into it. It's the same set of technology. So this is something like I think the sooner people understand this, the better it is. Okay. Otherwise, there is a very big possibility that it's somewhere else, and then people start understanding, oh, now they don't have one revenue source, they have 20, 30, 100 revenue sources. So I think this is how Zik will benefit from Z Prime, that we are basically enabling that there can be tens and dozens of Zignalys out there, and everything directly benefit from, because as we know from our financial models, that from revenue perspective, it doesn't it it's absolutely the same. The kind of commercials that we crack, the amount of success fee we earn from Zignaly is more or less the same that we earn from the white label. In fact, we make the implementation fee as well. So, it's great for the protocol, it's great for the Zig coin. And I think over the next 6 months, and even less than that, once these things start moving, I think people will start seeing major benefit out of it.
Yeah. And there is one more thing, right? Because somebody told me that if you stake certain amount of Z, you can have a discount in the setting fee and better commercial in the white label, right?
Oh yes. Okay. Are we disclosing that?
Not
Yeah,
not
yeah,
not the
absolutely.
amount, but you can.
But yeah,
There
absolutely.
is a
No, I think
this direct impact, right?
this is the thing, right? So I think once we actually become the full-fledged DAO and the community being able to see those commercials, taking decisions around it, but I think we are already doing this, right? So if someone coming in and they want to have this set of technology, okay, they would do these things for us telling them, okay, if you want discount on the implementation fee, you stake this much zig for x number of years. Okay, most of them are smart people, they know what we are doing with zig, they will happily do it, and we have started seeing this already. So I think more and more as we progress on this more B2B2C side, I think we will be able to have more zig locked, have more demand created on one side, and on the other side, more revenue leading to more burn. So I think net, we basically do not have one Zignally now. We have, like, they are growing like rabbits. So we have rabbits now. You know, they grow in population very fast. So yeah, ZigDAO is now the papa rabbit, and we have a lot of rabbits coming out.
Nice, nice. So I have another one for you.
Okay,
Uh,
for me.
is there any real utility with Z?
So I think that's a very interesting question. So what is the utility? Like there was a time when people used to say that, okay, this coin can be used for payments in the ecosystem, and people were like, wow, amazing. I think those times are gone. More than the utility, we should look at the scarcity of the coin. Yes, there is a zig utility. Let's talk about it in a couple of minutes, but let's talk about what is a coin. It's an asset, right? And what does community want? Let's be very honest. Even as founders, our long-term incentives are aligned with the strong zig, a liquid zig, right? So think about it like this. What does utility mean? Utility means the creation of that there is a constant demand, and there is basically no extra supply, which means economics 101 as it goes up. This is how basic fundamental works, right? Now think about it from Zignaly perspective. We are saying that the revenue, part of it going into Zig. Okay. What is it doing? It's creating demand, and it's creating liquidity. Okay. That means that there's a demand, supply is just there already. Okay. So that means that, and we are burning it. It's not going anywhere. It's not going into treasury for using it later on. It's getting burned. So what's happening? The scarcity is getting created. That's number one. People are smart these days. Once they see a couple of burns happening, they can easily calculate. They will know what's happening. Okay, they will see that how fast this burn is going to happen and how fast this 50% supply is going to go away. Okay, so more than the utility, as an investor, if you ask me, I would focus more on the scarcity. That's number one. But number two, is there a utility? Answer is yes. We actually mentioned the whole part, the whole vision of the PS 3.0 and the ZigDAO in our white paper. And I strongly suggest that people go there, read it up, ask us the question. We are more active in Telegram now. We are more active on Twitter now that we are out of that deep development mode. We are more active now. Um, uh, the utility that Zig is definitely going to have is a governance for sure. Okay, we are stepping towards that. I think that is a great utility on its own, and it will lead towards decision making, such as what to do with the treasury revenues. Okay, um, what kind of deals can be done, what kind of integrations can be done. So I think that is a great utility for Zigcoin, and I think one thing in PS 3.0 that we have mentioned, if someone digs in, we are eventually talking about Zig becoming yeah, like a gas fees on its own. Okay. Have you mentioned this by the way in PS 3.0?
No,
Have you?
no.
No, sorry, cut it. No, I didn't say it. I didn't say it. Cut it, guys. Sorry, I never said it. But there is a lot of utility. So
Yeah, yeah.
there is a great lot of utility, and but I would say at this point in time, for the next few weeks or so, I would rather focus as an investor on the scarcity more than that. Okay, I can use it to pay. So yeah, there's a low price. You want to pay your fees with Zipcoin, be our guest. But do you really want to do that at this point in time? Do you want to get the 15% discount to pay with the Zipcoin, which has a different kind of potential? So you see, that's the thing. And I think this is something that people will understand more and more once our marketing content also starts going around the same lines. So yeah, that's about it.
And there is
I didn't say
something,
anything.
yeah, yeah, yeah. There is something very interesting, which is once we reach the 50% of the total supply, it will be the DAO the one who say what is going to happen with the whole revenue of the protocol.
Correct. Absolutely. Yeah,
So
I think absolutely. I think this is something that I think over the next few months, I think we will start talking more about that. How would that council come into place? What, how does the voting mechanism comes? And I think we have some really good people from the industry on our side helping us on these things. But I think it's not a rocket science as per the industry standards. There are already successful models out there. So I think our focus on from the business perspective would be to have amazing revenue stream coming in, enabling us in a way that we can take those decisions and really make it a community driven project, create some solid foundations with millions of dollars of ARR coming in, so that we can be really comfortable that, okay, here are the foundations, here are the basic protocol foundations, and off we go, which is I think something which is looking more and more possible now as compared to the last year.
this is something very, very interesting because personally, I'm very happy with the new white paper and the direction that we are taking. Because one of the things that I look at when looking into the other projects is that they generate revenue and that the revenue impact the token. I think with this combination, it doesn't matter if you are in a bull market, bear market, that you are in a really good place. So
Yes.
let's see how it works. Good. I have one last question. This one is not related with the white paper. This is related with the email that we launched today, and we made a bit of a promotion about Bybit. What is happening with Bybit? Are we going to integrate Bybit, or what is happening? So I think I can answer this one. I will leave
Sure.
you later. So we are checking. Okay, this is not sure. We are already working in the protocol to make it multi-exchange. So we are looking at one exchange in particular that we think offer a lot of different things that not other exchanges have. But we have Bybit is growing a lot. We have a lot of requests from really good traders to have an integration with Bybit. So this is something that we are considering. So guys, we invite you to take a look to Bybit because we think it's a really good exchange. Actually, I made a lot of I have a really good trade in Bybit. When USDC went to the
Point nine.
big bets, yeah, I was looking where could I go to buy USDC, not to buy. I was looking for future USDC, USDT. And I went there and I bought with maximum leverage as much as I could. And it was really, really good. From 0. I got at 0.92 and it went to 0.97 or 98 when I saw. It was really, really good. So I have a really
And
good
did
experience.
you buy Zig? Did you buy Zig with that? Like we have seen the spike in Zig these
Of
days.
course, always, always. So I had a really good experience with Bybit, guys. So I invite you to do the same. And if you do with the referral link that we share, you can participate in a really, really cool promotion that we are running. So I think at the end, all the major exchanges are going to be in ZIGDAO, in the protocol, but how we are going to prioritize the integration is going to be is going to be we are going to have the opinion of the community into consideration.
Yeah, and I think as I was saying that Asian side is growing really fast, and Bybit is actually one of the fastest. In fact, there are two exchanges that are growing really fast overall. One is OKX and one is Bybit. Um, KuCoin is facing some difficulty, but if we rank in terms of the global exchanges, I think Binance obviously the undisputed leader, and there is a close fight happening between OKX and Bybit for the number two spot. The kind of growth that they are showing. So I think, and they are
It's not
onboarding a lot of traders. Yeah,
is not Coinbase the second around the
Coinbase, you
second?
cannot call it a global exchange, right? Coinbase is more US only, while these exchanges are more global in terms of their approach. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I was looking at it. Coinbase is actually struggling for volume these days. In fact, it's a very good
Oh yeah.
question. Let's check.
I just, I just,
Let's
I
check.
just got an email from them today that they got a license in Spain.
Yes, in Bahamas. Oh, they got in Bahamas as well,
Yeah.
for the perpetuals, I think, right?
Not sure. I just read the header of the news, and it says something
Mhm.
like Bank of Spain grants the license to Coinbase.
That's interesting because I'm just looking. In fact, Kraken is coming up back pretty fast. In fact, I was reading today that Kraken actually is launching stock market trading. Yeah,
Mm.
so that would be interesting. So I'm looking at it. Yes, volume perspective, Binance is one, Coinbase is two, then we have Bybit, and then we have OKX. But as we know, that Coinbase is more of a US exchange, not really for everyone. So yeah, Bybit and OKX are having a pretty solid fight for the number two spot. Yeah, they both are spending hell lot of money.
Yeah.
Like literally, like every second influencer you talk to, like, "Yo guys, what are you doing?" They're like either with Bybit or with OKX. So yeah,
Right.
these are interesting days.
Cool. Cool.
And there is
Cool.
one other exchange, by the way, that's trying to grow a lot. We are listed on that exchange, but yeah, I have serious doubts on their liquidity. I don't want to name it. Starts with B as well.
I was gonna say it. I will
I,
shut
I,
up.
I actually directly talked to their CEO and I was like, "Ma'am, I respect you a lot. You guys are doing a great job. You don't want to be an exchange anymore. You want to be the world's largest copy trading platform. Fine, welcome to the competition. But you suck big time."
But
Yeah,
it's not a competition. What we should do is to use sit down.
yes,
Because
exactly.
actually, there is something very interesting. This huge community that you were talking about, they have a copy trading platform, but not platform, but service. And the problem that they have is that they have so many users that the difference between the first user that get into the trade and the last user who get into the trade is huge. Okay,
Exactly.
it's so huge that they stop accepting new customers. So, and they came to
Yeah.
Zignaly and they try and they create a few services and they onboarded a few members of the community. They try and they love it because we don't have this problem. This is what we already had this problem 2 or 3 years ago, and we came with this solution, which is provisioning. With provisioning, you don't have a slip page, everybody has the same result, is the perfect solution against copy trading. So
Absolutely.
I think we should talk with this
But
be
that
a chain.
the problem that B exchange there is a problem. Problem is that they think something else of themselves. So that's another thing. But there's another exchange which starts with G. They are very much willing, and I think we'll be talking to them very soon. They've been following us up. They actually came to our event in full force. Their MD also came to our event in Singapore, when we were launching Z Prime, and they're super interested in talking to us. So I mean, I think that would be something very interesting. In fact, I was telling them that, I gave them an interesting route. The MD was looking at my face like, but he realized what I'm saying. I said, listen, you are good, you're old and everything, but your liquidity again is no match to Binance. So why don't you become a Binance broker partner and then we give you our technology? And he was looking at my face and he was like, why would we do it? But the next day he realized it. So now I'm pending to talk to him. So yeah, can
Nice,
be
nice.
interesting.
Cool. So this today, and I think from now on, we are gonna skip the section about talking about the ad portfolio. But what I'm gonna do in return is that mostly I'm gonna publish my results as I was doing previously with PS1. I think it's more interesting because then people are gonna have time to see it, analyze, and have some insider information, even when I try to use public services. But I think it's interesting to follow. So we can skip anyway. We don't have David to joke about his portfolio, to his one
And the
dollar
other
portfolio,
thing as well,
and the other small thing. Well,
you always.
uh, so guys, thank you very much. I don't know, Rafael, if you wanna say anything else. You already said too much for today.
I said too much, unfortunately. I hope no one was
Exactly.
listening. No, no, people were
Okay, okay.
listening today. We have the most comments today. Okay.
So we are done for today. Today was short then. Thank you guys, and have a
Thank you,
wonderful.
everyone. Take care. Bye bye.
Bye bye.